My ex-wife demanded half of my lottery winnings, even though we've been divorced for years. The judge's ruling left her in tears. I, 42M, never thought I'd be back in court facing my ex-wife 5 years after our divorce was finalized. But there I was, watching her lawyer argue that she deserved half of my recent lottery winnings. Our marriage lasted 8 years. The first few were good, but things deteriorated quickly. We grew apart, argued constantly, and eventually, the relationship became toxic. When we divorced, we split everything down the middle, the house, savings, even our dog's time. It was a clean break, or so I thought. Fast forward to last year. I'd been buying lottery tickets every week for nearly a decade, a habit my ex always mocked. A tax on people who can't do math, she called it. But that Wednesday evening, watching the numbers appear one by one on my screen, I realized I'd won. Not a few hundred, or even a few thousand. I'd hit for $5.2 million. After taxes, I walked away with about $3.1 million. I didn't go crazy, no mansions or sports cars. I paid off my modest house, set up college funds for my nieces and nephews, made some investments, and donated to the animal shelter where I'd adopted my dog. I kept my job as an IT specialist, but finally felt financial security for the first time in my life. 3 months after my win, I received a certified letter from my ex-wife's attorney. She was demanding half of my winnings, claiming that since I'd started playing the lottery during our marriage, she was entitled to half of any eventual payout, regardless of when it happened. I laughed at first, thinking it was a joke, but the lawsuit that followed was very real. Her argument hinged on the fact that I'd been using the same numbers for years: our wedding date, her birthday, and our old house number. According to her lawyer, this created an ongoing marital asset that matured after our divorce. This is absurd, my attorney told me, but we need to take it seriously. In the months leading up to the hearing, my ex launched a social media campaign painting me as a villain. Mutual friends forwarded screenshots of her posts claiming I was morally obligated to share the winnings. She even contacted my elderly parents, trying to convince them I was being unfair. The day of the hearing arrived. We sat on opposite sides of the courtroom, not making eye contact. Her attorney spoke first, eloquently arguing that the pattern and practice of buying tickets started during the marriage, creating an expectation of shared proceeds. Then it was my turn. My lawyer presented the divorce decree, which specifically listed all shared assets and made no mention of future lottery winnings or tickets. He showed proof that I'd purchased the winning ticket using my own money years after our divorce. Your Honor, he said, this is a case of buyer's remorse. The plaintiff regrets agreeing to a divorce settlement that did not include speculative future winnings. The judge asked several pointed questions, then called for a brief recess. When she returned, her expression was unreadable. After reviewing the evidence, she began, I find no legal basis for the plaintiff's claim. The divorce agreement was comprehensive and made no provision for future lottery winnings. The defendant purchased the winning ticket with his own funds, years after the marriage had legally ended. She continued, this court cannot rewrite a divorce agreement simply because one party later experiences good fortune. To do so would make a mockery of the finality of divorce proceedings. I felt a weight lift from my shoulders, but the judge wasn't finished. Furthermore, she added, I find this lawsuit frivolous and potentially vexatious. The plaintiff is ordered to pay the defendant's legal fees in full. I glanced over at my ex-wife. Her face crumpled, and tears began streaming down her cheeks. Her attorney whispered something, but she shook her head violently. As we left the courtroom, she approached me in the hallway. You know this isn't fair, she hissed. I supported you for years while you worked dead-end jobs. I deserve something. I could have said many things. About how she'd cheated on me in our final year. About how she'd insisted on her career taking priority. About the constant belittling of my dreams and hobbies, including my stupid lottery tickets. Instead, I simply said, the divorce was fair. This ruling is fair. It's time to move on. That evening, I received dozens of messages from mutual friends saying my ex was posting about appealing the decision. Her sister even called to berate me for destroying my ex-wife's life. The next morning, I instructed my attorney to send a cease and desist letter regarding the social media posts. I also blocked her family members' numbers and focused on moving forward. 6 months have passed since then. My ex did try to appeal, but was denied. The social media campaign eventually died down as people lost interest. I've since moved to a different city for a change of scenery and to be closer to my aging parents. The experience taught me something important about human nature. When the lottery win first became public, people I hadn't heard from in years suddenly reached out. Some were genuine, but many had thinly veiled requests or investment opportunities. It made me value my true friends even more, the ones who were there before the money and treated me no differently after. As for my ex-wife, I heard through mutual friends that she's still bitter but has started dating someone new. I genuinely hope she finds happiness and moves on. The money has changed my life in many ways, but the greatest luxury it's bought me is peace of mind and the ability to help those I care about. Looking back, I realize our divorce was actually the real win. It gave me the freedom to live authentically. The lottery was just the cherry on top. I sometimes wonder if I should have offered her something as a goodwill gesture. But then I remember how she treated me during our marriage and the lengths she went to trying to take what wasn't hers. The judge made the right call, and I've made peace with it. For anyone dealing with a similar situation, whether it's lottery winnings, an inheritance, or any unexpected windfall after divorce, my advice is simple. Get good legal representation immediately and document everything. People can surprise you with their sense of entitlement, even years later. The irony isn't lost on me that the numbers containing our wedding date and her birthday finally hit after we split up. Maybe there's a metaphor in there somewhere. All I know is that I'm finally free, both from an unhappy marriage and now from its lingering shadow.